This is ACS Blog, here today on Constitution Day with Elizabeth Wydra, Chief Counsel of the Constitutional Accountability Center. Ms. Wydra, tell us a little bit more about the message of your issue brief, Setting the Record Straight.
Well, I think it's great that we're here talking about setting the record straight on the Constitution on Constitution and Citizenship Day, which marks the day in 1787 when our founders met in Philadelphia to sign the Constitution. The Constitution has been in the news a lot lately as the Tea Party has emerged as a persistent presence in the media and in politics. And while as Chief Counsel of an organization that is devoted to the text and history of the Constitution, I applaud this focus on the Constitution, and it's great that people across the country are discussing and debating the Constitution. It's important that we all are actually reading the same document, and if you look closely at the Tea Party's version of the Constitution, it bears little resemblance to our actual Constitution. And so it's very important to set the record straight. For example, one of the Tea Party's main arguments is that the federal government does not have the power to act in situations that involve national problems like the healthcare crisis, financial system reform, and environmental protection. And that's actually not true. Our Constitution, even as written in 1787, gave the federal government broad and substantial powers to, among other things, regulate interstate commerce and tax and spend to promote the general welfare, as well as the sweeping authority to enact laws that are necessary and proper to carrying out these other powers. And, it's true that these powers are limited. The 10th Amendment affirms that our government is one of enumerated powers, but it's important to recognize that these enumerated powers are themselves broad and substantial. And we go through that in the issue brief in greater detail. So in fact, when the Tea Party claims that they want to return to the vision of the founders and the 1787 Constitution, in reality, what they really want is to return to the failed Articles of Confederation, which the Constitutional Convention was called to improve upon. And that's really where their weak central government claims really have their home, not in our original Constitution. And finally, on Constitution Day, I think it's also important that we embrace the entire Constitution, and that includes the amendments that we the people have added to the Constitution over the past 2 centuries. Our founders in 1787 wrote into the text the power and procedures for amending the Constitution. So it was originally conceived as a document that would be amended over time. And it's good for us that the founders wrote the Constitution this way, because we the people have added amendments that have ended slavery, secured liberty and equality, enhanced our democracy, and given the national government power to protect individual rights and address national problems. So the amendments that the Tea Party often denigrate or even seek to repeal are not a rebuke to our founders' original constitutional genius. They're an affirmation of our founders' wisdom. And they recognize that we could not have a more perfect union if we did not also create a workable process for amending it. These amendments are part of the reason that, more than 200 years later, we can celebrate our Constitution as one of the most enduring and remarkable charters of government.
Thanks, Ms. Wydra. Can you tell us where we can get more information about any of the issues you just discussed?
Absolutely. We have a series of blog posts on CAC's Text and History blog, and the blog series is entitled Strange Brew, the Constitution According to the Tea Party, which you can find at www.textandhistory.org, or our website has the issue brief and a link to the blog series at www.theusconstitution.org.
Thank you for being with ACS Blog today.
Thank you for having me.